farming. And certain wonderful systems were developed by persons like Dr. Rudolf Steiner, what is now known as biodynamic farming, and they give wonderful results also. However, terrific changes have occurred in the whole of biosphere in the last 25 years. The whole biosphere has changed in the last 25 years as it has not changed in the last perhaps several thousand years. And these organic farmers find great difficulty now to survive and to grow things. So, are there any methods known which can help them combat this problem of pollution now? There are wonderful techniques given in ancient science of agriculture given through the Vedas. So many sciences are given at the time of creation through the Vedas. Now this basic sunrise sunset fire, what is called Agnihotra, it is tuned to the biorhythm of sunrise and sunset. It is the basic process in the science of agriculture, medicine, climate engineering, and interplanetary communication. It is as old as creation. Wonderful things are told in ancient science, maintained by the yogic tradition, what is called the Himalayan tradition. This knowledge came to be lost. This knowledge existed all over the world and not in any particular region on the planet. But now it is being resuscitated by divine will. Now, for example, in this ancient science, some wonderful things are told, like, for example, about pollution. They say that because of pollution, the nuclear structure of element changes. And when that happens, that means it is not the same element. When this happens, the planet begins to attract elements from other planets and they become detrimental. How to make them beneficial by means of fires and mantras is also told. The ancient science of agriculture tells us that due to pollution, insects begin to breed in a hybrid fashion. And as an example they give, for example, a honeybee mating with a spider, and monsters are created which cause destruction everywhere. How to change those things and bring them to normal? There are methods based on fire and mantras, and of course rhythms of nature. Then again we are told in the ancient science of agriculture that due to pollution, insects, some insects which are predators, they change their dietary habits and they become vegetarians. That means they do not do their job and they begin to destroy the vegetables. How to bring nature back against to its own course? All these things are told in ancient knowledge now. So this is one aspect of it. But there are methods whereby you can grow large quantities of wonderful, healthy, nutritious food in a very small area by making use of some of these techniques. So we share this information all over the planet, free, if anyone is interested in practicing this. The main idea is we are living in a world of superstition and we have to go to think in terms of science and keep our faith only in science, because only science can save us and nothing else but science, because science is knowledge and knowledge is sacred and only knowledge can take us out of this. When the scientists, for example, in modern times started dealing with this nuclear energy, they knew what's going to happen. Well, now today we have this nuclear trash even in space. All these places where these chemical dumps and nuclear dumps are there, people living there are living on a time bomb, for example. And now they say that even due to one Chernobyl, it is now several million hectares that have become radioactive, and also several million people it has led to genetic mutations. Just one thing like Chernobyl, genetic mutations in insects, birds, animals, and also human beings. That's what we are told. The water is polluted, the soil is polluted, there is this ozone hole disturbance, there is some subject for like acoustic pollutions about which scientists know very little as yet. But it is a very important and a destructive factor, because this ancient science says exactly by using methods of resonance you can turn the tables and stop all this pollution also and bring the planet to normal things. So the first thing is, any of these methods, they have to be very simple to operate. Anybody with very little effort should be able to operate them into practice, because it is a race against time. The scientists now tell us that just in a short time, looking to the satellite pictures of Amazon, they say the trees are diseased and they will soon die, and soon there will not be enough oxygen on the planet. The desertification is going on in a very big way, and there is no solution. That means food production is getting much, much less and less. Everywhere there is plant disease and also human disease. But it is very simple to remove all this if we decide to treat not the symptoms but treat the cause, for example. Here, so far as plants are concerned, if you want to start Homa farming, then first try to get the agriculture department or some institution or some university involved in this. Ask them to test the soil before you start any of these operations, as told in ancient science. Then again let them test the soil after 3 months, after 6 months, how the soil fertility goes up, it improves, although you have taken a couple of crops. That means from somewhere the nutrition comes. There is ancient theory given from where the nutrition comes. Simply if you practice the simple process of Agnihotra tuned to the biorhythm of sunrise and sunset. The ancient tradition of knowledge describes sunrise like this: the coordinate of the planet where the sun appears to rise, a flood of energy comes from the sun, which consists of several types of electricities and subtle energies. This comes like a shock. All these energies come in the shape of a pyramid. At sunset, they are withdrawn in the shape of a pyramid. Then, so far as the simple process of Agnihotra, when we use a copper pyramid, uh, in which we light a small fire with cow dung, dried cow dung, and we use clarified cow's butter for this purpose, and a little of few grains of rice. About the grains of rice, we are told that it should not be broken rice. Now, for example, if the rice is broken, the chemical analysis of both the pieces may be the same, but the subtle energy structure surrounding that rice is broken, and hence it cannot be used for this process of healing. How does this process work so far as agriculture is concerned? This is an aspect of psychotherapy. It could be used in drug de-addiction. It could be used for removing or reducing pathogenic bacteria in an area. But now we are talking only about farming. They tell us that when you do this fire exactly at those times, by the way, all these times based on one particular definition as told in ancient science, because there are many definitions of sunrise and sunset given, but we are asked to make use of only one particular definition. So, based on that particular definition, anywhere on earth you can get a free computer printout for the place where you are in. In countries like Germany now, they sell pocket computers for Agnihotra. If you are traveling, you can find out the exact location of that place, because this is a process of healing, Agnihotra, healing yourself and healing the plants. The ancient science describes the process like this. You do this mantra exactly at that time and put this rice into that fire prepared in a specific way, into that pyramid of exact size. And by the way, this mantra is very simple. A child can learn it in a few minutes. And the whole process takes, for example, less than 1 minute. Of course, you require some time to light the fire before that time of sunrise and sunset mentioned on your computer sheet. Then, as soon as you do it, they tell us that the first effect goes approximately 12 kilometers above the planet so far as this Earth is concerned. About other planets on the Earth, we do not know, but what I am talking about relates to our planet. Approximately 12 kilometers. Then it rebounds to that pyramid. And while coming back to the pyramid, it brings down nutrition. And while this flame is going on, which lasts for a few minutes, for example, then there will be an aura energy field around each and every blade of grass, tree, plant in the vicinity, and that nutrition gets caught up in these thousands of aura energy fields, and that is how plants get nutrition, the disease goes away, and they become happy. This is how the theory is given. In practice, what we find is the disease goes away, and you can grow wonderful crops in a small area. If anyone is interested, then he can learn this free anywhere. Thank you.